like the rest of you, we saw Elon Musk do the Nazi salute saying, "My heart goes out to you," and everything. And I've seen a lot of people say stuff like, "Wow, you guys, you guys think that was an okay symbol. How about you do it yourself? How about you go out there and do it? Let's see you do it, Yukar." I don't recommend that. I do not recommend that at all, because the way I see it, why wouldn't they take you up on this offer? Well, why wouldn't they? I mean, do you think these folks have shame? Do you think that they're worried about what other people think about you? Hell, even if they lose their job, they'll just be immortalized by the rest of the Republicans. And my thought is that we're going to start seeing this a lot more. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a priest named Calvin Robinson who spoke at the National Pro-Life Summit. And I want to go ahead and show you guys watching exactly what I'm talking about here. How, get ready to see this a whole lot more, certainly not less.
This is the last stand for Christendom. It's make or break time. The whole of the old world is crumbling. Every country in Europe is embracing death. America, as far as I could see, is the only country fighting for life. And that's down to you guys. So God bless all of you for what you're doing. Please keep doing it. I hope that I can encourage you. And my heart goes out to you. God bless.
So I wanted to play that and draw attention, not necessarily to the salute, which, obviously it is what it is. I want to draw your attention to the reaction by the crowd at the National Pro-Life Summit. They didn't gasp in horror. They didn't meet it with silence and concern and, self-reflection. They laughed. It was hysterical. They thought it was really funny. And this guy was an Anglican priest. And as of a couple of days ago, he did lose his license. The Anglican Church defrocked him. So he lost his job. He lost his, ordained minister title and everything. But that doesn't solve the problem, because the crowd loved it.
He'll be a Southern Baptist by the end of the week.
You're right. Exactly. No, right. He'll either be an independent Baptist preacher or he'll start a podcast. Either way, he's going to be successful. He'll be perfectly fine. And that's why, they're going to do this. We're going to see this at Trump rallies. They're going to be doing it, saying, "Oh, look how funny it is that we trolled you libs and everything." Yeah, they're going to do that. You can't stop them. I don't want to encourage that, because I can easily foresee a future where this is just a common thing. And 5 years from now, you got MAGA folks or whatever the aftermath of MAGA is, and they're just doing this as a joke until, it's not ironic anymore. What did you think when you saw it, Todd?
Yeah, I was like, once I started seeing people say, "Hey, do it," and then seeing the stitches of people, usually they'll kind of clean it up a little bit, but they're doing something similar to it. And I was like, this is going to be the new F Joe Biden. This is going to be the new Let's Go Brandon. Eventually there's going to be kids who go to school and their daddy's going to be like, "Hey, do this salute when you do the pledge and own those libs," and this is going to be something that, while people are doing it and looking like they're in the movie Idiocracy, they're going to be looking at us as they do it and say, "See, do you see how silly you look while I do this?" I just don't want to live in that reality. And I made a video like you did about this thing, and there were so many people who were like, "No, let them out themselves. Let them go out there and show who they really are." And but I want the people who do Nazi salutes to be people who I know are actually Nazis. I don't want it to become this new thing where it's also a joke to do it, and you provide this out for the actual Nazis to be like, "Oh no, I'm just doing the Let's Go Brandon."
Yeah. You're spot on there, is that if you allow it to become a joke, then that joke provides a shield for actual Nazis. And that applies to so many things, actually. There's so many. This is like 4chan fucking incarnate. If you were on the internet on 4chan, and even Reddit does this all the fucking time too. This is a classic thing. "Oh, I'm just joking." Anytime that you corner one of these fucking 4chan Nazis into whatever, "Oh, it's just a joke." And as long as other people are making that joke too, that cover always exists for them. So they can go and test the waters. They can give a little salute, and it be, "Oh, I wasn't actually a Nazi. I'm joking." And that's exactly what you saw here. You saw the smirk he had immediately when he did it. You saw the laughter from the audience. And that's one of the reasons I think it's important to talk about comedy from a more technical perspective, because what is the joke?
What is the joke? What is the joke?
Like you said, Todd, you look ridiculous for saying I'm bad for giving a clear Nazi salute. That's the joke. And what that means is they think criticism of Nazis or Nazi symbols is funny, and if you think that's a laughing matter, that's a fucking problem. It's a problem that you think it's a joke. Even if I don't care what's in your heart. I don't care if you're doing it because you're a genuine Nazi. I don't care if you're doing it as a joke. They both have the same goddamn effect and should both have the same goddamn consequences. And we need to hold each other to a higher standard than that. We don't. Oh, there goes my light. We don't. But that's the problem. And you can apply that to any sort of edgy joke, And again, we make edgy jokes all the time on here. We're fans of dark humor. But if the dark humor can also be interpreted as a signal to Nazis that you support them, it's no longer dark humor. It's providing cover for Nazis. That's it. You can make much better jokes without providing cover for Nazis.
Yeah, I love this question of what the joke is, because they could do this. Like, you could pull out a swastika if you wanted and saying, well, I'm only doing this because this is an ancient Hindu symbol for peace and prosperity, whatever. All right, I got that. But this is not 5,000 years ago. This is today. And today that has a very specific meaning. And you know that, right? You know that.
It was just a Roman salute, TJ. It was just a Roman salute.
I'm going to get to that Roman salute thing. I'm so glad you brought that up. I forgot all about that. Let me write that down, Roman salute. But what this means in current day in the modern context. So even if, and trust me, that is a huge if, you're being sincere by wearing the swastika as a symbol of peace, what other people are going to think. This is what I used to say to folks who had Confederate flags back in the day. And they say, listen, to me, it's heritage, not hate. It's like, well, buddy, you're from Michigan. It's not your, well, I don't know. I just like the Confederate flag or something. And so, okay, listen, even if you're being sincere, you're being honest here, that you don't see the Confederate flag as a symbol of hate, millions of people do, and you're perfectly fine with that. Why? Like, why are you okay with this? Like, if there was something that I liked, but I knew millions of people found fantastically offensive and had an actual reason, like a historical reason, like, okay, well, all right, I'm going to put, my ego to the side here to not appear like a sociopath, but they kind of like it. The Roman salute thing, when I saw it, my first thought when I saw this, Elon Musk doing it, by the way, if you guys, he did it twice in a row. I don't know if everyone out there saw the angles. He did it toward the crowd, turned around, did the rear of the crowd. He knew exactly what he was doing, and the biting his lip when he did it. And
and the exhale of just like, it was so aggressive.
I've literally never seen one that's so obvious and I've never seen it in my entire life.
Yeah, Herman Goering never hit.
You don't just fumble your way into that. You don't just stumble into that in your life ever, and especially you don't stumble into it twice in a row. And if you guys look, there was one angle where it showed it from the side. He stepped into it when he did it. He didn't just stand still; like he forcefully put it in there. No one sends your heart to another person. And I love those videos from the crowd, where you can see and hear the actual hardcore MAGAs who are there for that inauguration day speech say what it was. Like the audio is on there. There's one where the dude's like, "Yo, this MFer just did a Sig Heil." And
yep. But when I saw it, my first thought was I didn't expect that my heart goes out to you to be the defense. I didn't expect that. I did.
That was very funny. I cannot believe that.
I was like, come on.
People were genuinely like, bro, he said his heart goes out to you. It couldn't have been a Nazi salute. Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Are you yeah, come on. Like, there are a few times where you run across defenses where like, I don't believe you're being sincere at all. No one in the history of mankind has ever thrown their heart to the crowd like that, including Elon Musk, by the way. A king's ransom to you. If you can find any video of Elon Musk saying, my heart goes out to you in that fashion.
No. He actually, there is a video of him saying something similar, like to my heart goes out to you. And he's like,
No, but I mean, yeah,
it's so clearly a completely different thing.
Oh no, not saying the words, but doing the symbol when he does
the whole thing.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, at all. But when I saw it, I thought, oh, I bet they're gonna go with the Roman salute thing. And the only reason I thought that was because I watched a fantastic miniseries on HBO called Rome. If you guys haven't watched it, it's incredible. And when I watched it, I saw that the Roman soldiers, when they saluted Caesar, they did it exactly like that. I said, oh, okay, I guess it came from Rome. Turns out it didn't. Turns out, like, yeah, this is weird. So in looking into this, the Roman salute comes from a painting from like the 1700s. But I remember seeing the painting in my literature book in like 11th grade, where it showed some Roman soldiers holding swords, and then there was 5 or 6 of them doing the hands out salute to the swords or whatever. And that was taken and adopted by the fascists because they thought it was a Roman salute. It was actually just made up by the painter. There's no actual historical evidence of Roman soldiers saluting in that fashion. Like, we don't know how they saluted, but that was just from a couple hundred years ago. But yeah, that was just kind of wild here. And John, this is back to the why. Well, what is the joke? I love this question here because there's a reason that in general, right wingers are not that funny, because conservative comedy is dog shit. Conservative comedy relies on beating people up. That's it. And you will see this when you ask them, like, hey, what's the punchline here? And the punchline is usually, look how stupid that person is, or look how bad that person feels. Because conservatives have 2 jokes. They have 2 jokes. Their first joke is, oh, look at all these genders, like the Apache helicopter. They have that joke. And then a few years ago, they came up with Elon Musk is an African American. Those are their only 2 jokes that they have. And everything else is, look how mad the libs are. Isn't that funny? Look how mad the libs are. It's so funny. It's how a 4-year-old does comedy, where they do something to piss you off and laugh their asses off. I've never understood that. I've never understood how anyone finds that funny. But yeah, it's not a joke. You're just being an asshole. Just admit it. Just say, yeah, I like being a prick. I like being an insufferable moron. And I find pleasure in that because I have a fridge temperature IQ. Just say that. I would rather you do that than say, oh, no, it's some sort of complex 5D chess type of humor. No, it's not. You're just a dick. That's it.
You know what really annoys me, TJ? That's so clear and obvious. Like, anyone who's arguing for this side of the aisle that is intelligent, right? Like, that does actually look at these things analytically. And I'm like, I can respect the way that you're breaking this down. They still support this sort of fucking bullshit. Like, yeah. I know that they know, and I know that they know what they're doing. And it's upsetting to me that so many people are just okay with it, because there are a lot of people who understand that the joke is just hurting people.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, no, that's totally fine, acceptable to do. And it's like, how do I even have a conversation with you? Like, how do I even have a conversation with you if you think, like, yeah, it's funny to just hurt people? That's funny. You know, like, if I guess, like, I don't, like, there has to be like some sort of consent in on the joke. Like, slapstick comedy, I guess, is like, I'm just laughing at people's pain. But the people who are in pain are the ones trying to get me to laugh in that situation. It is not the people who they are hurting. And it stuns me that this is such a hard concept for people to understand.